Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Cool Downs. These episodes are short, actionable podcasts pulled from previous interviews and content we've been publishing for the last several years. So go for a walk, hop on the rower, or clip into the bike for this cool down episode. So let's kick it off, man, with the study, the specific study. Let me just reference it. So it's, if people want to look it up, you could just Google carbohydrate mouth rinsing improves resistance training session performance. And that's DeSimone 2018. I don't know if I said the last name correctly of the person who did the study, but that is the study that we are reviewing and talking about. We're going to kind of reference a lot of other studies in the process inadvertently because this has been studied a lot. But Joe, I'll start with you, man. What's your take just on this in general? So do you fully understand what carbohydrate mouth rinsing is, and do you understand it enough to explain it to someone else?
Probably not. I understand the concept. I mean, you have sports drinks that you swish in your mouth for 10 seconds, and then I guess some of it gets absorbed, but then you spit the rest out so it doesn't actually go into your stomach. I only have a few takes onto what the reasoning or the how behind it is, but I don't know enough to explain how it's all done.
Well, you nailed it on the head with like how you do it. So you just like swish some Gatorade around in your mouth, or you can make your own solution and you spit it out. And there's been a lot of research on this, specifically in the endurance community. So the book Endure by Alex Hutchinson, right? Yeah. So who we had on the Better Humanology podcast, I learned a lot about it in his chapter on fuel in his book. And so that's where I first heard about it. In the endurance world, this is like, it's just like it's a proven thing. Like swishing the Gatorade around carbohydrate mouth rinsing is like, it increases endurance performance. It's not really unknown at this point. Where it's a little bit unknown is in strength training. People are undecided on whether or not it can actually help you in your strength. And the study that we just mentioned, overall says that it could be possible to help someone improve strength. It's not like overwhelmingly true, but the initial findings are that, hey, yeah, this could help you to some degree. What's your take on that?
So I was trying to read the abstract on it, and it said that they added 12% more reps.
Yeah, like total volume to the workout. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see how that actually because they had the set sets and reps, but it didn't say like how, at least in the abstract, how if they were going for a max out and they just did more reps the next time or what.
Yeah, I think that's actually what they did. They would do
a set of 10 rep max and then do it again with the rinse, and they did more. Yeah.
So I think they had like a normal set rep scheme, and then they would do 3 times max reps at 10 rep max on 5 compound exercises, on 5 different compound exercises. So basically testing max reps. And so the group who did the carbohydrate mouth rinsing they pumped out a little bit more repetitions than the groups that didn't have carbohydrate rinsing in it.
So I wonder, the first thing I thought of was if you're rinsing for 10 seconds, you spit it out, you still have it in your mouth and you're still going to swallow your saliva. So what's the difference in rinsing or just taking like a shot versus like a mouthful rinse?
Yeah, and that's a good question. So like, why not just drink it? Is that what you're saying?
Or like drink a tiny bit versus swishing a larger amount.
So this is what's unknown. So I think some of these scientists are pretending like they understand the mechanism, but I don't think that they do fully. And the reason I say that is because of Alex Hutchinson's book and how many different studies he references. They're saying that it goes back to the central governor theory that your body is going to stop itself from getting hurt, whether that's in strength training or endurance, by throttling you back mentally. Like you think that you can't do any more repetitions. You think you can't run any faster. And so your mind is going to throttle your muscles' ability to do work. That's the theory. And they're saying that through an unknown mechanism, when a carbohydrate enters the mouth, and they looked at people's brains on MRI and everything, your brain lets up and lets you push a little bit harder. And it's kind of like tricking your brain into saying, hey, fuel is on the way. So go ahead and push a little bit harder, but you spit that out so you don't ever actually consume the fuel. And so the mechanism is basically like brain trickery is what you're doing. And I mean, the main reason, the question that comes up to me is like, why not just drink Gatorade during your workout? Which I also, in my own brain, would be like, well, I don't want Gatorade. Like, I just don't want it. Like, I don't need that much sugar during a workout, like any workout I'm doing, unless it's over 90 minutes. So that's the answer to why not just drink it, because more likely than not, you do not need the Gatorade.
Yeah. So actually, that was another thing that the next thing I thought about was it's almost like the aspartame effect, like the fake sweetener effect, where your mouth thinks you're getting something sweet, and it tells your brain you're eating something sweet, and your brain then tells your stomach to prepare for sugar, but then whatever it did to prepare for it is just not there.
Right.
That's kind of what
Well, that's exactly how it's working. But what's interesting about just talking about artificial sweeteners in general, Alex Hutchinson talks about in his book, they did a bunch of different studies to see if this was true, if the same would be true if people would have because what you're talking is more like physiological, like digestive and like everything else. And that stuff's been proven, but they're wondering, okay, will people still get a bump in performance if they have a sweetened drink that's sweetened with, aspartame or Splenda or, whatever, but not actual sugar? And all the studies in there, like placebo controlled, all this other stuff, said no. You can't trick your brain into increased performance through a sweetened drink that's not actual glucose, not actual sugar. So I found that very interesting because I've read the same thing that you're talking about. Like you can, sweet stuff that's not actual sugar can trick your brain into having a lot of the same bad mechanisms that like why you shouldn't have sugar. But for some reason, when you overlay that to performance, it's no longer true.
That's weird. Yeah.
Go ahead. You have something else?
Yeah. So as far as the drinking versus not drinking it, so now that you say the thing about the brain tricking, so I just read the chapter on sports drinks in Good to Go. Mm-hmm. That's the article that somebody brought up in our community about a month or two ago. And one of the things that they studied is, of course, whether the endurance athletes should drink sports drinks or not. And when they did a study on them, they took a guy that would run for like 2 hours without anything and then with sports drinks and whatnot. And what they found was when most high level racers, when they race, at the end of the race, most of them lose like 10% of their body weight because, and they're technically dehydrated, but it's because their core temperature raises and their core temperature finds a new like homeostasis. But when they drink something, that core temperature would lower and their performance would actually get worse.
Very interesting.
So I guess maybe that's also why. So instead of it could be why that they just do the mouth rinse. So if they drank it, they found, because a lot of them didn't like it because they didn't want anything in their stomach swishing around, but they're still absorbing it, whatever they need through their mouth. Well,
that's so true. Like there's like a perfect mix for endurance athletes of like how much you should consume in a race. Like what's the least amount I can consume and perform at the highest level is kind of what they're looking for, as opposed to just like, let me shove 6 bananas and a power gel and like all this other crap in here. Cause that's not the most effective way to fuel during your workout.
Yeah. So I wonder if the same would be for like strength exercises and stuff and like lifting with the core temperature thing. Cause I rarely need to drink stuff anymore during workouts. Like sometimes I'll take a sip just to take it, but I don't find like I need to. Yeah. Or like when I go for runs, I don't take anything with me.
Well, and that's what, that's kind of like how I want to put in context of like how, like we're talking about this, the study and carbohydrate rinsing, endurance athlete, strength training. Like how could this apply to the garage gym athlete? And one thing that I had was, so when you eat, you store carbohydrates, and they're called glycogen. That's how your body stores them, glycogen. So you have glycogen stores, and that's what your body uses. So if you eat a really big meal before you go to sleep, and then you wake up the next day, the real reason you don't need anything to eat when you train in the morning is because you have plenty of glycogen stores just ready to go. And unless you're eating like really low carbohydrate or keto or something like that. But there was another study where they're talking about like who this helped most. And it said rinsing and spitting sports drinks produce the biggest benefit in the depleted condition, so depleted glycogen, a smaller benefit in people who are fasted, and none at all in the fed condition. And so putting those three. So it helped a lot with people who just had completely depleted glycogen stores. So the way you would have completely depleted glycogen stores is you just finished a workout, or you have not been eating a lot of carbohydrates. Maybe you just woke up, something like that, or you haven't eaten that much today. Fasted obviously is fasted. And then if you're already fed, then mouth rinsing doesn't seem to help that much at all. And the reason I point that out is because I know a lot of garage gym athletes wake up and train first thing in the morning, and they ask me, what should they eat? Or I can't really eat anything. Like, you don't need to. You have plenty of glycogen in there, but if you're looking kind of for a performance boost without wanting to fill your stomach up with a bunch of crap, try this mouth rinsing technique in the morning. You could have coffee. The studies on caffeine are, really, really long, and all pretty much prove that it's going to increase your performance. But if you just do a little bit of carbohydrate rinsing, like right before you work out, maybe in the middle, it'll probably give you that little extra boost. Because I know when I train in the morning, and I don't know if you're the same, Joe, I always notice a decrease in overall performance. Like, I can get the work done, but I'm just not as on fire as I would say be like that afternoons between 11 and 2. That's typically when I can perform the best. This is something I'm looking to try. Haven't really tried it that much, especially during those early morning workouts.
I still always train fast no matter what time, so I don't know how much a difference. When I've ate, sometimes depending on the workout, it'll my stomach will be affected. But
so you definitely need to try this. You're training fasted, but much later in the day. Like, I don't do that. I still fast, but I typically have a shake now about an hour before I hit my training.
I'm 14 hours in, just water and black coffee
right.
every day.
You should do it, man. You should try the carbohydrate rinsing, because it says it helps fasted. And then anyone hitting up like a 5 a.m. workout, any garage gym athlete, I think it'd be really beneficial as well.
Today might be the perfect day. We got 1,200 meter repeats, and they're not fun. So I might need an extra boost.
Do you have some Gatorade?
No, I just have Fit Aid and Kill Cliff.
Oh, man. Waste of money to just spit that stuff.
I know, right?
All right, man. Well, that pretty much concludes that. I think the early morning garage gym athlete, or those training fasted, definitely something you should try out. It's kind of, the strength side is not fully proven in my opinion yet, but the endurance side, it's more than proven. So just take that into account when you guys are getting after workouts and trying to use a method like this. Thanks for listening to today's Cool Down. If for some ridiculous reason you are not subscribed to Garage Gym Athlete Programming, fix that problem right now. Go to garagegymathlete.com, sign up for a free trial, get started with us today. Thanks for listening.